Viewers, this is your boy Ray E.
It's my fault.
It's your fault. I said it backwards.
Yeah, she had a
I
little
usually
accent
say
to her voice.
this is the gray area and this is your boy Ray E.
What'd you say instead?
I said this is Ray E and we are the gray area.
Oh.
I did a David
So
Ruffin.
it's, yes, I was just about to say. So this is Ray featuring.
Yeah, David Ruffin walked in and said, we have a very special guest here for you guys today. Just and Patrick.
Yeah, I mean, just let me know.
Because he
Right.
just look. I'm
This is
David
David
Ruffin.
Ruffin.
Man, yeah.
I just want to let you know that in the
Yeah.
beginning. You know, and I'm sure that there's
Hold on, let me hit the applause button on my.
going to be a very special occasion. So my brother Nuri, yes sir. So man, I'd like to catch up with you on some of the things that you've been doing here recently. It's been a while since you've been on the gray area, and you've just been traveling and going to different places. Can you give the people a little bit of?
Last time we were here, but we've been in 2017.
Wow.
We were Mars, and 5 p.m. on CBS.
Prime time.
We got a call from some of our brothers there that had received a call from the president of the country.
Wow.
And when we were blessed to go
The
there.
word flew quick.
Yeah, we spoke to all the cabinets of government. The southern part of the country, we spoke to 1,000 teachers,
Wow.
students, and did some events as well.
Mm-hmm.
But those are Chicago for our Savior's Day convention this week, and this past Sunday was the release of my newest book.
All right.
Absolutely.
After You Say I Do.
After you
Yes.
say I do. Look, we got to hear it. I didn't get to read that one, so I'm hoping that after you
We
say
can touch
I
on
do,
both of them. Yeah, we
Right. Before we say I do,
Yes.
because for those
You know, the quote that I put on the back of the Before You will either confine you to complacency or they will inspire you to grow into your greatness. Choose wisely. So this was and it really gives really from the Bible, Quran, the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the different together to produce what I call a spiritual Carfax sheet.
okay,
You know you want to check it out.
you want to make sure there ain't no flood call.
Yeah, is this a rebuilt title? You know? Am I buying a lemon?
Right.
You know, coming out of slavery, we had a 90% marriage ratio among black people.
Yeah.
Now it's only 40%.
Yeah.
Wow.
And out of the 40% that are eligible to be married in the black community that actually are married, the average, Sister Ebony's played sports, and you all have as well, but we learned that proper preparation, prepared for free throws and not for marriage, properly prepared for the 100 and not for marriage. And we found that in vacations to get a driver's license than you do to get a marriage license.
Wow. And
Now to me that's bass apple.
yeah.
You got to get a chaperone. You got to do 40 hours of driving.
Absolutely. Why do you think that is? Why do you think it's easier to get married than it is to get divorced? When you go, I mean, I think it's North Carolina, but in one of them states on the border, basically you have to wait 3 years before it's final.
Well, I mean, if it was done for the right reason, that'd be a good thing.
Sure.
You know, but it's all a money hustle. In America, $55 billion a year is spent on weddings. 55 billion.
Wow.
This is count white people in the mix of black.
Sure.
The average marriage in America only lasts 8 years.
Wow.
So most people that get married actually finance their wedding.
Wow. So
And by the time they finish paying off their wedding, they already
So-
work. Kind of said this. He said that lives of the forming of the new life in the womb, the first 3 years of marriage are the first together now, trying to, everybody has pet peeves and different ways of doing things, trying to negotiate. You're pretty much saying in 9 months of perfect physical child. So witnesses, and most importantly, and I pledge to be faithful, sincere.
Death do us part.
They'll be a little more confident.
take the vows for granted.
Yes. Yeah, I think supreme wisdom lessons, there's a question and answer bond, regardless to whom or what circumstance is categorized as a what. So have you circumstance that you might face in life. And bond is life, but that is most people don't make their word.
Okay.
Break that down.
Our word hasn't meant nothing in coming before an altar and putting our word out. It's nothing for you to say, you. No footnotes on I do. Yes, I do.
Right.
So it starts before you ever before you're going to do something. You don't quit when you're tired. You quit when you're done. And move hell and high water to make sure that what I said I was going to, as we just got a bad still follow that same tradition.
Yeah, and our numbers are bad.
Because black people were ever going to be allowed to get higher learning. After y'all getting education, y'all just can't be in the class. That must never be taught to the slaves of mating.
Wow.
Now, mating has two sides to it.
Okay.
So whenever you mate horses, first thing you do, you're picking the right male and the right female to come to the other side is after the two horses come together, now they are to produce a child, a young. In a 3-year cycle, every 3 years, 2,000 to 3,000 black males are killed by police officers, or we kill one another by stealing some rims, stealing a radio, stealing. We are stolen property, but we've never, we don't know finance because our money with them.
Wow.
We got $1.1 trillion a year coming through black hands every year, and it's been like that for 3 years now. Well, but we spend $3.2 billion keeping up with the latest cell phone. We spend $11 billion cars. This time, but by the time we get finished with that Malaysia front lace and the back lace, and $30 billion a year on hair care products.
Yes.
8th richest nation on earth. Out of 200 nations, we the 8th richest nation on earth.
We're able to spend money like that.
$1 billion a year more than Mexico, $400 billion more than Spain. Spain has 46 million people. We have 46 million black people in America. It's inside of our community. So we know the science. We don't know the science of fine. And then the mating something, and our women have never learned. It's because most of the time, whenever we go to a city, we're in struggle for our people better, get justice, whatever it is. But after every lecture, Brother Ray, somebody is pulling me to the side saying, "Is it me and we have some?" So it's so many sidebars that people always have, and I said, man, if I can do before you say I do, in book form, then that will allow. As the back of the book, I put on a quote that says this: when marriage is done right, it will allow you to convert your home into a experience. After you say, I can just, that's all.
There.
Yes, sir.
Because before they get to that step, now they need to read the book and do before you do that. But what are prior to just saying I do?
Well, and then you have to know what is the role directed, or you are back, and the actor's movie.
Right.
Well, so it is with marriage. You know what is the role, the goals, and then once you know the roles, then you can work with each other.
Right.
In sequence.
Absolutely.
And I'll say this: a man that does not, or a man ever goes out and asks a help meet. If you don't know where you're going,
right.
It's compatibility list. Then you should already have, before you get in a relationship, what is the idea sitting there with your notebook?
Yeah, like, okay. Yeah.
And while you conversating and communicating, as a man, you be 70% of what that man said. 7 out of 10 is what his words were.
Nice.
If you had a list of 10 potential person.
Right.
Our problem is that most of our women, especially, you marry a man that's more of a potential than they are the present.
Okay.
I'm gonna help it. I'm gonna work it out. We gonna work on them other 7. 5 years later, he didn't lost
The negative.
as they are already present person, and you don't Michael's crafts. 70% of the people neediness is women start thinking about their biological, end up what they call settling. You overlook that. So before you get married, and emotions that give you a story. There are people that maybe 4 of them, you're supposed to court. And when you court, you're supposed to have a shop. Think the biological law of nature. They were you already there? Let me ask you this: been sexually active with one another, still would have married you, but then you have had the goal of marriage is a 3-party system, and there's a scripture in the Bible that says that, but a 2 one is. So to have God at the top has to be rooted in the one you're trying.
Absolutely.
The purpose of it too.
Yeah.
A woman is not a man, and your personal ATM bringing bodies together, but minds. In a holier world, a better place. for the man and for the woman, pleasure box, chef, and maid.
Wow.
That's big.
And I wanted these in subtitles. I'm just gonna name some of them off for you, for the viewers. So we have the science of marriage. Usually before a show, I'll post some questions, and some of the answers that I'm getting on the Facebook posts and the comments, you know, just in the titles alone, and like, here's the answer right here.
Man.
So if you're listening and you're one of those people that marriage half of your faith, the ideal man of women. Marriage is actually the second.
Yeah, I read. Did you read the other? It came out of the what we would consider the proper upward spiral or trajectory toward relationship, and then letting the physical. We don't have a biological math. It's the mental and the spiritual side. Even the physical side of relationship, turn your wife into a prostitute.
Expound on that.
Or you might even turn your husband into a pedophile. You know, you have some people that do what they call role playing.
Yeah.
So if you're a wife and you want to be able to cheerleader. Question. What is the average age of a cheerleader? The real cheerleader.
Right. 12 to
So these are
18.
teenagers, right?
Right.
So why would you want to fake? Want to know what happened to him? Why is he excited about a teenager? So that's not even a good thing to play. So the goal of the sexual side of marriage is to take the degrading, the disrespectful aspect of the sexual side of marriage, and get couples to think about making love instead of having sex. Graphic side that causes a man to degrade a woman or a woman to degrade a man, and take out using sexual intercourse by a woman to get what she wants from a man, and vice versa. So that's part of the math of it. There's some other stuff I'm just gonna let you read it.
And that's interesting that you say that, as far as we don't need too much help on the sexual side, because when you go to premarital counseling, you're getting counseling on this.
And animals, I mean, birds, the bees, and cats, dog, everybody. I mean, all creatures know, biological function. It's not hard to increase that on that side. But what's missing is that we don't have the mental and the spiritual connections that we need, and the knowledge that we need. What we've learned, Sister Ebony, is that over discussing it, and a lot of people don't like to say this, but what we've learned about the problems in relationships, and even whenever they met in Congress to discuss higher education and said 3 things that they weren't going to teach: finance, warfare, and mating, that lets you know that you need more than love to have a happy marriage.
Yes,
absolutely.
You also need wisdom. You need knowledge. And it has to be specific knowledge that's brand. Pick out the perfect outfit, color schemes, line up everybody. They gonna crash diets.
Oh yeah.
Just know what I'm talking about.
The whole wedding party.
Yeah, you ate 3 oyster crackers and 2 bites of an apple a day for 4 months.
Right.
Trying to get ready
to make sure I was a size 6 by the time I got there. So we do all of that. We do all that reading, all that planning, organizing. We do all of that for the wedding. But how much study do we do for the marriage? Wouldn't it make sense that if a marriage is for life and wedding is, I won't even say for a day, because it's only a couple of hours.
It sure is.
Why would you put that much mental energy into getting a day right? And not put more into getting love. So we have the book, and then that's another topic, because you have to be taught what love is.
Exactly. Yeah.
And if not, you're gonna be Tina Turner in it. So that's a secondhand emotion. And then next thing you know, whenever everything goes bad and Ike and stuff start hitting on you, what's love got to do with it? You're gonna give up on it. But so that and then if you look at it, what does the scripture says? God is love.
Yeah.
In Corinthians, love is patient. Love is kind.
Yes.
Love is not jealous. Love does not boast. Love does not seek of its own pleasure. You see, love always hopes. Love always has faith. Love endures.
Right.
So when you start looking at the ingredients that make up love as a verb, and you start practicing that, then you know, you'll have a better concept of expression of love because you're doing it right. But that's what, you know, we would say. And for those that are in the viewing and listening audience, if you like to get the book, just go to NuriMuhammad.com and click on it. And you can get it right now. It comes straight to you. It's also available on download, I think, on the through Kindle. You can download it, and hopefully by tomorrow we'll have it ready on in the Apple Store, as well as on Google Music as an audio book.
Awesome.
Oh, nice.
Awesome.
So it has been approved overseas, but it hasn't been approved in America yet on iTunes, but it is on Google Music.
You know they're gonna slow that process all the way down as long as they can.
Yeah, well, you know, it is what it is, and it's unfortunate that we, with all our knowledge and skill and science, that we still have to keep going to the enemy to become our mediator.
My title.
Sir.
Title.
Title. Yeah, we're gonna look into that as well. We have, I think it's pending now with a couple of other outlets. It's not. I don't know enough about it to comment because I'm not doing that side of the business. But it is Spotify, I believe, Tidal, and it's a couple of other platforms that we're trying to get in on.
That's awesome.
So that we can get this out to our people and help us, because we're suffering.
Absolutely.
And what's happening, Brother Ray, is that each one of us is born with a specific purpose, and that your purpose for living is where your joy comes from. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said this. He said, happiness comes when someone has found their purpose for living, and they are fulfilling that purpose. The soul of that person has an unspeakable joy.
Yes.
Right.
So your purpose is that single activity of life that you do well with the least amount of effort. Your purpose is the thing that you love so much that it gives you life whenever you do it, no matter how much life it takes from you while you're doing it.
Right.
You know, your purpose is it's your passion.
Right.
And what we are finding is that whenever a woman of purpose or a man of purpose gets with a bad partner, that it zaps them of so much energy that they don't even have the life force that they need to even offer their purpose to the world.
That energy.
Which means that you end up not making your contribution that God brought you on the planet to make.
Absolutely.
To make the world a better place, and at the same time you end up living an unhappy and a miserable life.
Wow.
So in the book we talked about, and after you say I do, that the highest form of loneliness is not being single. But the highest form of loneliness is being in a relationship with the wrong person.
Wow.
That's the highest form of loneliness, because to be single, you're at least at ground level.
Right.
But whenever you're in a bad relationship, you're below zero. You're in the negative in your mental and your emotional state. So we're hoping that, you know, this really could help us to get back where we can have our homes. When we come home, you find your friend.
Absolutely.
You find your comrade. You find someone that's your positive soundboard. You can bounce ideas off of. You make them laugh. They make you laugh. And then you all can eat good, have good conversation, and then wake up in the morning, call on the God, and go out into the world with more power to do what you need to do to help us as a people.
Absolutely. How important is it for someone to find happiness within themselves and their, you know, before they can become a proper helpmate? Because I see that a lot of people are not even changed. And, you know, so can you speak on the importance of finding yourself first?
Well, see, happiness is an inside job. It's not an outside thing. So you should, when you pick a mate, you should already be individually on a certain level of balance, harmony, happiness, and power. And whenever you meet someone, it's a new song that the sister from Floetry, I can't think of her name. What's her name? Lettuce.
Marsha Ambrosius.
I think it might maybe it's somebody different. But there's a song called "Add to Me." It's a new song. So she's singing a song. She's saying that basically I'm good. I'm paying my own bills. You know, I'm pretty honest. Be honest, I'm pretty solid. I'm happy. So I want to know what can you add to me. And I think that we go wrong whenever we think that if I'm a woman, I have to have this man in order to be a certain level of joy. And as a man, if I don't get a woman, then woe is me. No, a woman, for a good woman, for a good man is his best reward. And a good man for a good woman is her best reward. And a man can't be a great man without a good woman. And a woman can't be the great woman without having a good man. That's why whenever we refer to our mate, you say that's my other half.
Wow.
See, you catch a man that's walking and he has one leg. Catch a man with one arm, somebody with one eye, somebody with one ear, somebody with one hand. They're called handicap.
Wow.
A man walking by himself without his mate, he's handicapped. So whenever you're dealing with a man with one leg, it's only a certain amount of speed that he can go. But if he had both legs, look how much faster he can go. Same as it is in life, a relationship. So when you meet a man or a woman, they should be able to take you to another level from where you already are. But if you're thinking that if I meet her, she's gonna fulfill everything that I got missing in me, then you got it twisted.
Absolutely.
Didn't it say in the Bible that I am the Lord your God, am a jealous God?
Yes, it does.
See, if a woman puts a man where God is supposed to be, what is the actions of a jealous person? Jealous people. First of all, God is not jealous. He would not be a victim of such a petty emotion. But the thing is when a person is jealous, a woman is jealous of a woman that the man is with, she don't attack the man. She attack whoever that man put in her spot. So if the Lord thy God is a jealous God, if you think as a man that I'll never be nothing if I don't get me a woman, well, get her. And the Lord thy God is a jealous God. He gonna go after whatever you put in his spot. And if as a woman you think that if I don't have a man, I ain't this nothing. Okay, get him. And the Lord thy God is gonna get him. Because there's a certain relationship that only God himself can fulfill. And whenever you're not on a certain level of joy, peace, and happiness between the relationship you have with the God you believe in and the person you see when you look in the mirror, you're in trouble if you think somebody's going to give you everything. No, let them add to. Add to where you already are, but not become your all in all.
Absolutely.
I have a question about the add to part. Is there a certain age that a man or woman should not consider marriage? And I say that because I'm just thinking about myself. Like I'm now at an age where I'm at that add to, but I know maybe 10 years ago, maybe even 5 years ago, I would say I wasn't in the needy stage, but I'm at a confident stage. My finances are good. My credit is good. I was
going to ask you about that. I need a loan.
They're not great.
Not that good, huh?
They're not great.
Okay.
They're just good. But so I'm at that point of maturity to where it's like, okay, I mean, I'm straight, and those things, even the mindset of, I have my own money. I don't need anybody else's money. Yours would be great, but at one time, I thought that was the mindset, we share, we do all these things and so forth. But now it's more like you said, that add to.
I think you said something though, Sister Ebony, in that you mentioned a word. Did you all hear that word? Maturity.
Yeah.
The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, there's a myth that that people used to say that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that a man should marry someone half their age plus 7.
Mm.
So we were at dinner one time with the minister, and somebody asked him about, you know, is it true that a man should marry a woman that's half his age plus 7? So if I'm 30, I'm supposed to marry someone
That's
22.
Yes.
And he said, I never heard of that before.
Hmm.
We started doing the pathological backtrack of it, and come to find out it comes from the autobiography of Malcolm X.
Oh.
This was
okay.
something that
Okay.
has been attributed to Malcolm X saying, but because it's become folklore, they said the Honorable Elijah Muhammad never said half your age plus 7.
Okay.
Okay.
So look at this answer, though. This kind of answers your question.
Mm-hmm.
He said, no, there's no age
Mm-hmm.
for marriage. It's about maturity.
Mm.
He said, I know some 18-year-old sisters
Mm-hmm.
that are mature enough right now for marriage. But I also know some 48-year-old sisters that are too immature for marriage. So it's not about age.
Mm-hmm.
It's about maturity. And I think that one of the things that Brother Pat mentioned in the early part of the show is that you know how much integrity that you have as a person. See, honesty is telling the truth, but integrity is when you live the truth.
Yes, sir.
And if you've got a pattern of making your word blonde, not bond, then they're saying that you're not quite mature enough
Yeah.
to put your word out there for something as serious as the institution of marriage. So wait till you get to that level of maturity.
Mm-hmm.
But if you are someone that's 19 years of age, but your word is bond, and bond is life, and you will give your life before your word shall fail, and that you are committed, and you're willing to do whatever it takes to work through whatever it takes to work through, and you got a mate that you found that's willing to do the same, then it's about maturity.
Yes.
So, you know, it's not an age. I wouldn't say you're too old or you're too young unless you are a child. And what we do recommend is that if you are in school trying to get whatever paperwork or certification you need to fulfill your purpose, let your mate be your purpose before it's ever a man or a woman.
Wow.
Wow.
And be committed to the study of getting whatever you need to fulfill your purpose. Then after that, find somebody that can add to and help you to manifest that purpose later. But if you haven't found your purpose and you're trying to get to fulfilling that purpose, you don't need any mate yet. Get that first.
Absolutely.
So, you know, if you're in college, you know, don't run off trying to find you in a relationship.
Right.
Now, get in a relationship with them books.
Can we speak on expectations? I've seen some things on Facebook, and also had some experiences in my life where you meet someone who wants everything but don't have anything.
Wow.
So there's a lot of people with high expectations.
You have to pick a mate. You know, you have to pick a mate. If I got on the shoe, you know, I got on a blue shoe, size 8. A mate for this left shoe is another blue shoe, same style and the same size. I can't go get a brown size 12 boot and walk around talking about this. It's my mate. So when you're looking for a mate, you have to find someone that matches who you are.
Right.
You can't want a Khadijah if you're not a Farrakhan. You can't want a Martin Luther King and you're not a Coretta Scott King.
Right.
So you have to pick according to what you are. And if in your mind you're saying that I'm not marrying, you know what? I'm not, ain't no way in the world. I got to have me, you know what? I gotta have me an Abraham. Well, guess what? Before you can get an Abraham, you gotta become Sarah.
Come on.
Absolutely.
So start working on becoming Sarah, so you can qualify for an Abraham.
Right.
Start working on becoming Farrakhan, so you can qualify for a Khadijah. What size are you?
Wow.
Right.
You know, what kind of mate? So you want a mate that matches who you are, and if you have expectation where you are wanting a man that is a 10, and you're coming to the table as a 4.5.
Come on.
A 2.
You can't. That's not a match.
Right.
You can't have no size 4.5 on one foot and then walk around with a size 10 on the other. That's not a mate. People gonna think you crazy.
Yeah.
So, you know, the other side of it too, you know, expectation is really premeditated resentment. Soon as you start operating with expectation,
That's interesting.
you set yourself up for resentment, because whenever the person doesn't live up to what you thought that they should
let you down
be,
before you even started.
Wow.
now you walking into the table with premeditated resentment.
Right.
So we were doing a little session earlier today on marriage, and I was sharing with a brother. You know, one of the definitions of husband, if you take the word husband and break it down, is house band. A husband is a house band. He's the one that keeps the house together. And in the Latin etymological root for a husband, one of the definitions is giver of gifts. Jesus said it's better to give
Than to receive.
than to receive. Do you know what that means? That it means that the internal spiritual guidance system of self is fed better and is happier when you're giving than receiving.
Right.
So when you come into a relationship, see, a real relationship is about other people's happiness. It's about making the other person happy.
Right.
You're not a man really doesn't. He's not supposed to be looking for what a woman gonna do for. He's supposed to be trying to figure out what can I do for her, and then I get my joy off of seeing her smile.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
There's a story I wanted to share, Brother Ray, about. Look at this expectation.
Okay.
There was a very, very poor man that was in a conversation with his wife.
Okay.
His wife had really, really long hair, and she asked her husband. She said, "Honey, do you think that you could buy me a comb, a really nice comb that I can manage my hair and, you know, and help it to be healthy and beautiful?" And he said, "Well, honey, I don't even have enough money to fix my watch. The band is broke." And she didn't say anything. He left, went to work, and on his way home from work, he stopped at a watch store and sold his broke watch so he could have enough money to buy her the comb so that she can comb her hair.
Wow.
When she got home, he was rushing in the house. He was so excited because he got rid of the watch. I got this comb that she really wants. When he goes to give her the comb, she comes out and she's cut all her hair off. And he was like, "Honey, what happened?" She said, "I have something for you. Here's a new watch band. I sold my hair
Wow.
to get you a watch band."
Wow.
Wow.
Both of them laughed, cried, hugged each other, not because they were mad that I lost my watch and I lost my hair, but because of a real healthy relationship is when two people are really getting their joy off of pleasing the other person.
Absolutely.
Wow.
She cut off all her hair to get her husband the watch band. He sold his broke watch to get her the comb. That's how real relationships are supposed to be.
And that's called the gift of the Magi.
That's what it's called?
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
I didn't know what it was called. I just know it's a good
beautiful
story. But it's
It's a great story.
it's kind of the function of a relationship. You know, whenever a man is in love with a woman, her needs become his goals.
Absolutely.
And when a woman's in love with a man, his needs become her goals. And when you got two people that are looking and studying each other, trying to figure out what does she need or what does she want, and figuring out how I can get it for them, then you've got a happy and a healthy relationship. So, you know, it's better to give
Absolutely.
than to receive. That's the concept. So instead of having expectations of what another person is going to do for you, begin walking around trying to figure out what you can expect from yourself to do for the other person.
Absolutely. Wow, that's great, man.
I wanted to go through the subtitles.
Yeah.
Which one would you guys want to start with? We can't go through them all, but just
yeah. Let me see here. I really want to dig deep into the know your role, play your part. I think that our community suffers from that greatly.
Yes.
You know, and women have been conditioned to be strong and independent and all these great things. And when they finally do meet a person who takes those things and makes them better,
right?
They tend to, no, I got it. You know.
Right.
Can you go over that? You know, to know your role, play your part.
Well, unfortunately, in our community, our women have had to be man and woman so long that they are very, 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 very. You can call it hard, but it's a survival mechanism where they don't want to give up the rhythm and the zone that they have to be in to function, to put their trust in somebody to do for them what they've already been able to do for themselves.
Absolutely.
So it takes a little while for people to carry out their roles. The Holy Quran says it like this, that men are the maintainers of women. And maintenance is spiritual, mental, emotional, physical, biological, and financial. What is spiritual maintenance? See, a spiritual maintainer is a man that has a relationship with God. His morals are intact. And he leads his family in not just prayer, but in service to God. That's spiritual maintenance. Do you know that on the Today Show in 2012, they did a study of women all over the world to find out what was it that they really wanted from men? And they came up with 4 things. Okay. Number 1 was loyalty. See, now it's easy for a man to cheat on a woman when the reason he's faithful to the woman is because of what that woman's doing for him. It's hard for a man to cheat on a woman when the reason that he's loyal to that woman is because God said he should be. So spiritual relation. And sisters, you never should, a woman should never think that it's something that they did that caused their man to stray. There's some men that you can mistreat and do whatever you want to do to them, and they'll never cheat on you. And then there's some other men you can do everything for, and they'll still cheat. Cheating is a personal choice, but whenever you're a spiritual man, a spiritual maintainer, your relationship and loyalty to God and the laws of God is as such that you become loyal. The other thing that the woman wanted was a man that listened. Women talk, men think.
Right.
That's tell Han bro, come on now.
Yes.
Well, we need to talk. Let's talk. Men, like, I'm straight. What's wrong with you? I'm good. Nothing.
Right.
I'm all right. No, you're not. I can tell. I'm straight. I don't want to talk about it.
Absolutely.
You know. And if you look in the scripture, whenever it deals with how Satan got Adam and Eve, Satan got Eve by talking to her, but Eve got Adam by showing him the apple or the fruit. So man is deceived through the eye. Y'all understand what I'm saying?
That's
the
big
ear.
right there.
So she wanted someone that listened.
Yeah.
Third, a labor, someone that worked hard. Yeah. And then a 4th one was someone that loved her. So these were, so when you're a maintainer, that's your role. Spiritual maintenance is leading the family in service to God and prayer. Mental maintenance means that you should have a knowledge of the empirical knowledge of the world. I mean, you should be able to study current events and be able to talk about it with your family. Physical maintenance means that you should be a protector. A man should listen to this, brother. A man should be willing to die for his family.
Absolutely.
And listen to this, and kill for his family.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
See, all these black deaths, these little young brothers that's killed, you don't need the Black Panther Party or the Nation of Islam or some special group to organize, have a meeting to figure out. No, hell, if that's my son, I'm coming to see you.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right.
You kill mine, I'm killing yours. That's what men do.
Right.
You know, a man. So that's a role.
Right. Right.
That's a role. Physical maintenance. Biological maintenance is touch. It's feel. It's the intimacy. It's the holding of the hands. It's the sitting next to. It's the touch.
Mm-hmm.
Emotional means that you show care, concern. You're loving.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know that? I don't want to talk too much, but there is a gender specific command from God on how a man should treat a woman and how a woman should treat a man. It's in Ephesians, I believe, 5:33. But look at what it says. It says, "Men, love your wives as you love yourself, and wives, respect your husbands." Do you know what that says? That in order to get the best out of a man, all a woman has to do is show him respect and honor.
Absolutely.
In order to get the best out of a woman, all a man got to do is show him love.
I had that conversation.
I'm telling you,
I had that conversation several many. I'm gonna say several many, if that's a word.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Several many times, because men and women operate on two different playing fields.
Yeah.
You know, we don't like love is respect is love to us.
So, yeah.
You know, that's equivalent. You know, if we can give her some respect, oh, you love me because you respect me. You care about me. But women is the opposite.
Yeah.
You don't love me.
That's our languages. That's our communication. You know, that's the difference. So both, you know, a woman needs love and respect, and a man needs love and respect.
Right.
Absolutely.
But a human being needs water and food. You need them both.
Right.
But for a man, respect is water, and love is food. But for a woman, love is water, and respect is food. I told somebody this, you know, they told me, they said, well, I thought Aretha Franklin,
No, Lord.
she sang a song, R-E-S-P-E-C-T. But did you know, even though that's a woman singing a song, do you know that the song was originally written by Otis Redding?
Wow. I didn't know that.
It was released as a single, and guess who he was talking to? His wife.
Oh, wow.
And it was 4 months before Aretha Franklin even had it. He had already put out the single with the same song. So originally R-E-S-P-E-C-T was a man talking to his wife.
Wow.
Why? Because that's what a man needs.
Absolutely.
So how do women take men from women? Honoring them, praising them, complimenting, showing them respect. How do men take women from men? Securing them, looking out for them, caring for them,
overly loving.
Yeah. So when you speak those languages, then you get. So that's part of the role side of it. I would just put that as language. The Quran also says that women are the helpmeets to a man, and in her you should find comfort and quietness of mind. So that is the nature of the female. She's created by God to give a man quietness of mind, comfort, and she's the helpmeet. See, a wise woman, and even you think about what our grandmothers used to say. The best way to a man's heart is through his stomach. That ain't. It shouldn't be the case. Right. But there's a science to that.
Absolutely.
See, a real woman is like a nurse and a doctor.
Yeah,
Come on.
nurse.
See, the nurse assesses what's wrong with the patient, and then the doctor gives the prescription. So the nurse side of a woman is I'm studying my man to find out what kind of wounds, abrasions, what blows, what's hurting from as he moved through the world. What has this world done to my black man? All right, I diagnose it. Now what do? I'm a doctor, but I'm not going to CVS or Walgreens. I'm not going to the trap house. That's all that is. I'm going to the kitchen. And now as a doctor, I'm not putting pills, but I'm putting vegetables. I'm putting certain seasoning in there. Most importantly, though, I'm stirring love into the pot. And whenever I present this food to this man, I'm helping him meet his goal because I'm providing him with a scientifically structured chemical composition of medicine called dinner.
Wow.
That's designed that he's going to eat this at 6 p.m. And by the time 6 a.m. rolls around, the nutrients that I gave him would have spread throughout his body, and he will wake up with more energy and vitality, ready to go out and conquer the world for our family. That's how women function. So those are roles.
Nice.
But I would say that keep that as a sister, keep that in your mind. Respect and honor of that man. That's his language.
Yes, sir.
And brothers, keep that in your mind. It's love.
Yep.
You got to show love to your woman. And if the man shows love to the woman, he's speaking her language. If the woman shows respect and honor to that man, she's speaking his language.
Yep.
And you'll have, this is a gender specific command straight out the mind of God in the scripture. And if we follow that, in addition to the basic maintenance, consoling, comforting, help meet,
Right.
but on that frequency
Yep.
of honor to the man, love to the woman, happy relationship.
There it is. I hope y'all taking notes.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, I'm over here, man.
Hope y'all too taking notes.
I mean, I'm hyped. You know why I'm hyped? Because I've been talking about that for a long time. And it's good
It's
to hear that.
confirmation.
You know, for some reason, people don't really respect it or understand it until they hear somebody else say it sometimes.
Well, that's that's the beauty of life. You know, sometimes we have a firewall up to places that we get traditional information from, and that's why we have to always be a student of everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sir.
The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said something this past week. He said only a fool doesn't learn from everything and everyone that he comes in contact with. Only a fool.
True.
So we have to learn from each other. We have to learn from insects, birds, whatever, everything. This is the university, universe.
Absolutely.
We in school.
Yeah.
So we should always be learning. I hope it's helping somebody.
Ooh, I know
out
it
there
is.
that we getting some news that we can use.
Yes.
I know it is. Did y'all have another one?
Yeah, I want the path to perfection.
Path to perfection.
Where's that?
See?
Oh,
In the beginning,
the
the path to perfection.
Oh Lord, I don't remember that chapter.
I mean, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, this is the truth. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said this, that there's no perfection in hell, and we're in hell. So, perfection, by definition, is God. But God himself is alive, and he is ever evolving. Think about that for a second.
Wow.
Do you know every day there's a new creature born in the earth or in the sea? And every creature, the Holy Quran says it like this, that every creature is a word. Every time you find an insect, a fish, a bird, whatever, there is a function, a purpose, and a law that thing came into existence under, that you can study to learn how to live life as a human being better. So if every day there's a new creature born, and each creature has attached to it a whole new system of knowledge, new knowledge is born every day. So what is perfection? What was perfect yesterday on February 28th is not the new definition of perfection on March 1st. March 1st's definition of perfection is on another level from what it was yesterday, because new things have come into existence. But the goal of it is to put the mind of the husband and the wife to pleasing God, not necessarily one another.
Wow.
There it is.
Think about that for a second.
Because if you're spiritually aligned with God, then you know how to treat someone else.
Yeah, because you're going to, by you trying to, there's an old saying that if you shoot for the stars, you'll always make it to the moon. Why? Because the stars are much higher than the moon. Moon's only 2,160 some odd miles in diameter, and is only 12 to 14,000 miles away from the surface of the earth, while the stars are sometimes millions of light years away. You know a light travels at 186,000 miles per second, and a light year is taking a year times 186,000 miles per second and coming up with miles in distance. That's how far stars are. So when you're shooting for something that high, then you'll always make it to something that's as low as the moon. Same it is his relationship. If I'm treating my wife the way that I'm treating her because I'm trying to please the Most High God, or I'm living my life to please the Most High God, I'll always be, satisfactory to her. So the goal of it is to show that, real bonds don't come by how I do my wife or how she does me. Real bonds come by me trying to please God. And people always ask me the question, they ask me, how do you balance family life with as much as you on the road, et cetera, et cetera? And does your wife get bothered? I said, no. See, I believe in the rise of my people. My wife believes in the rise of my people. She believes in the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. I believe in the teachings. We believe that our sole purpose is to deliver the 46 million or more of our people to the Lamb of God. We got the same purpose, same goals.
Awesome.
So guess what? My wife gets more joy out of what I do for the mission than what I would do for her.
There it is.
So if I call home and tell her, honey, I got you a new leather jacket. Let me show you the picture. She's happy on level 3. But if I call home and say, honey, we just left the church. There was 1,000 people there tonight and the spirit was high. Everybody needs it. She would be happier about what the message did for the people than what I did for her as a person. That's because we both are trying to please.
Yes. Shout out Sister Terry, by the way.
That's right. That's right.
Beautiful sister.
Wow. Man, you dropping the truth bomb.
A lot, man. I'm over soaking all this up.
I want to talk about married people make marriage look bad.
Yeah, that's something. Well, unfortunately, but you talk to young people.
Yeah.
Right.
When you talk to young people, most young people don't want to be married because some of the worst advertisement for the institution of marriage is married people.
Yeah, and I could actually speak on myself on that. That was part of my problem. I really didn't have a good example. I probably know a couple of people that I'm close to that were married or that are married where I'm like, wow, he and his wife, like, they're like this. Yeah. But for the most part, no.
It's because that we married people don't seem happy. If you go out to a restaurant and you see married couples, and then you look across the restaurant and you see couples that aren't married, the two that's not married, they laughing, giggling, having a good time. You got a big old booth,
right?
But they sitting right next to each other. They're not married. Go look at the married couple.
Right.
Married couple on one side, one on the other. I'm on this part, you on that end, and all you see is this.
Yep. No interaction or anything.
Yeah.
No joy. No. Yeah. So to the outside looking in, non-married people look happier than married people. So some of the worst advertisement for the institution of marriage is married couples. Married couples have to live a happily married life. And do you know that on that same Today Show, they did a study of happily married couples, that had been happily married for over 60 years. And they went around the world. Do you know what they found? They found that what they call the longevity ingredient to happy marriage is friendship. When two people were friends with one another. Meaning that they liked being. You see, it's one thing to love somebody, but it's another thing to like them.
Right.
See, you can't be. Your wife is not going to be your best friend because you love her.
Right.
Your wife is going to be your best friend because you love her and you like her.
Right.
And whenever you have a mate that's your best friend that you like being around, that y'all laugh together, y'all have fun together. That's what. So that chapter deals with some of the little things that you can do to produce and build friendship in the relationship, so that you'll have the longevity ingredient and you won't just be in a business arrangement, but you'll be happily married.
Right.
And you know, that's the purpose of it. But Pat, is to show us how to be happily married. And unfortunately, right now, a lot of people that are married are not happy. They're just together, and you have a lot of people say, we only together because of the children.
Yes, sir.
Now, do you think that's a good thing?
No, children are not the proper bonding agent or the adequate adhesive or glue that men and women should stay together for. They are not. That's not what they're for. They're not glue for you. They're your children. They're your offspring. They're your fruit. They're not supposed to be the glue that keeps you together. So, whenever you have men and women that stay together for the sake of the children, then what they end up doing is they end up really being nasty, cold, disrespectful to one another.
Some put a hit out on you.
Yeah, and guess what they're doing though? Look at what you're showing your children.
From the children, yeah.
Right.
Yes, sir.
So you're teaching your children an improper male and female relationship. It'd be better for you not to be there than to be a bad version of yourself and be present. It'd be better. So fatherhood and being a husband, you can be a father without being a husband. It's challenging. You can be a mother without being somebody's wife. It's challenging. Ideally, we'd like for you all to work out whatever your difference is. But if y'all together for the sake of children, that's not the way it's supposed to be.
I think that's the big stereotype of people who are on child support, is that somehow they're not fathers or good fathers. You know, and I was telling someone on social media that being on child support doesn't define your fatherhood. You know, like there's some fathers out there that need to be on child support, obviously, but you can't group all fathers in that's on child support, because there's a lot of great fathers out there where there's women that will just put them on there anyway. You know?
And there's fathers that have put themselves on it too.
Yeah, absolutely. In some cases.
Well, you know, I'm for black people settling their own conflicts with each other.
I'm with you.
And I don't like to see a woman take a man downtown for their enemy to be their mediator. Because whether we want to accept it or not, this is a white man's world. And this world is set up where it's in direct opposition to black people rising in general and black men rising in specific. So every chance that white male power gets an opportunity to step on his number one threat, which is a black man, they're going to do that. So as soon as you go to court, you setting up a man to be abused by the system. So it'd be good if we could set up our own system of justice in our community. And what we try to do is encourage people, don't go downtown. Let us see if we can help you. And we sign a contract, and then you got to make your word bond.
Not blonde.
Not blonde. Make it bond.
Absolutely, yes.
And then you do what you're supposed to do.
That's awesome.
So I hate to see the brothers have to be monitored by the court system whenever your love should be sufficient of a monitor for you, and we should mediate our own affairs. But if two people can't make it, that's one thing, but that doesn't stop my responsibility for being a father. That a man that will not care for his child, according to the scripture, is worse than an infidel. You are a hypocrite and a disbeliever. You get the lowest depth of the fire when you won't take care of your children that you brought into the world. Whatever it takes. You got to work 3 jobs, 4. It don't matter. Whatever it takes to take care of yours, you got to do that.
That's right.
It's a horrible system. I mean, for every kid that you're placed on child support for, one, they charge you $55 a year to do admin fees for that. Like, you basically got to pay for them.
That's ridiculous.
For you to pay. And then if you miss payments, no, let me back up. States don't talk to each other. So when people are moving around and going to different places or whatnot, states will not tell you. If you get a child support case that started in Arizona or California and you live in Indiana, they have their own individual rights to put you on child support.
Wow.
Indiana puts you on child support. California puts you on child support. When they get out of sync, it's over. Man. And I was a victim of that. Of Arizona. Arizona tried to say I owed them $23,000. Wow. And all they had to do was call Indiana to see that money was being automatically deducted out of my check.
Yeah, I remember that.
And so when Indiana called and said, hey, our own individual cities, and that's what I said, child support is a horrible thing to be on.
Yeah, if you know, child support is what you're supposed to do. You're someone and you're getting ready to marry them, and they were married before, you would do yourself a good service to interview the last person they were married to.
That's right.
You wouldn't buy no car if you didn't find out about the accident.
That's true.
You want to know, was this a fender bender or was this thing total? What happened?
How many times was it?
Yeah, how many times did it get hit?
How many? What?
Got some mileage.
Wait a minute.
Is somebody been playing with the odometer?
Old car.
How many times has it rolled?
Somebody been playing with the odometer.
Saved. You want to abuse saved.
But see, and what a woman should do is you getting ready to marry a man. Go interview the last woman and ask them what do you think was the cause of the breakup in the relationship, and then go ask him.
Yeah.
And then you don't have to tell him what ex-wife said.
Yeah.
But you want to be monitoring.
Absolutely.
While you communicating. Oh, you said he was selfish. He had a temper. He was okay. I'm gonna watch out for these signs because I don't see none of that right now.
Yeah.
Right.
But then and what you know, the beauty of life is that with maturity, sometimes we actually outgrow some of those negative traits that we might have manifested in that past relationship. And a wise person doesn't just learn what to do, but learns what not to do from the bought knowledge that they pay for with life experience.
Right.
So now they might be a new person, but you got to go back and interview. You got to get that Carfax.
Yeah.
And find out what was the cause of that accident. You know, whose fault was it?
Yeah.
All on the paperwork, you were at fault. That was you that did that.
Right.
You was the one that ran that light. And then you want to study them to see if they are different from what they were. If not, you getting set up for another accident.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Well, sis, you might be ready.
What? What are you talking about?
Marriage now?
Wait. Oh, because I'm mature. I got you.
That's right.
But I did have a question about, I don't want to say just young people, period, but so there's this hashtag everybody sees, you know, we're going back to what you were saying as far as just having those examples. So it seems like a lot of people rely on social media, looking at the beautiful pictures and looking at the couples, and, you know, sometimes it's a facade, or even what they see on television, and then the hashtag is relationship goals.
Yeah.
So it seems like we're more with marriage rates being so low, but I would say it seems like relationship percentages are much higher than marriage percentages, if that makes sense. So it seems like the relationship is more appealing than marriage today.
Well, it probably is, again, because, you know, married couples put on a bad advertisement for marriage, but it is the divine way of doing things, and you know, most of the time it's the brothers that don't want to get married. And they'll tell you, you know, ain't showing me go down there and a white man, ain't number paperwork.
Ain't number paper, right?
But the same dude tell you paperwork to marry you, he put out paperwork to get a driver's
They
license.
sure did, and get that job.
Paperwork to get that job.
Right.
Paperwork for the tax return.
Sure did, which is a lot of paperwork.
Yeah, Negro stimulus package. Gotta get that paperwork to get that gun permit. Paperwork to get the paperwork to be able to get the dog from the pet store. So you fill out paperwork for a dog, but you won't fill out paperwork for your woman.
Wow.
You fill out paperwork for a rifle, but you won't fill out paperwork for your woman. You fill out paperwork to be able to register your automobile, but you don't want to be registered as the husband of a woman.
Right.
So don't fall for that.
Right.
So there shouldn't be relationships except that they have the goal of marriage. And when you are looking at social media, you're not looking at the total scope of a person's life. They're putting on their best commercial.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
That's
Which
it.
to me is nothing. It's nothing wrong with that. But
Right.
but if you think for 1 minute that you're gonna live a life that everything is gonna look like that perfect Snapchat story, then life is not Snapchat.
Right.
Life is not Instagram. You know, you gonna have a little bit more. So I would say to those that are trying to figure out relationship goals, spend less time looking for relationship goals on Facebook and more time looking for relationship goals in your faith book.
There it is.
Look for that. Look at that as your source of relationship goals. The faith book over Facebook, and you'll see that that there's real trials, there's real struggles, and there's
Yes,
real
sir.
happiness that comes. But it's ups and downs of everything.
Right.
That's like a roller coaster. Life is you gonna go up, down, in dark tunnels. Goal is stay on track.
Come on.
Absolutely.
Stay in your seat.
You speaking on that after. You speaking on that after you say I do.
That's right. And remember this: whatever you do to get a thing, you have to do to keep it.
Absolutely.
So whatever you did before you say I do, you got to keep doing it.
If you wore wigs,
After you say
nails,
I do.
and
And that's what. So brother Pat, worse. So what happens to married people? Boy, I see you, boy. You even how you got married, boy. Eating good, huh? Soon as a man getting married, he's gained 80 pounds.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Woman and gained 50 pounds.
All right, Pat and Ray.
Think about that.
hey, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Just
But I'm saying that to say so married couples, they fall apart health wise.
Yeah.
Their appearance goes down.
Yeah.
Their health is deteriorated. They don't seem to be as happy as they used to be. So people from the outside looking in like, yeah, I ain't trying to be that.
True.
I ain't trying to be
Yes,
that.
sir.
So whatever you did, and I always tell you can unfortunately you can tell whenever a married couple is on the phone with each other.
How do you tell?
Real cold and short.
Hey, what's up? Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No. What did I say? Yeah, I hit you back.
Real brief or something.
Yeah, real cold and short, men and women.
Right.
But you didn't used to talk like that.
Right. Right.
Sister, whenever you was courting that man, you'll be fixing yourself up while he's on the phone.
Yeah, like
He
can
can't even see you.
Yeah.
But you making sure that everything together. You on the phone,
Get his
you
eyebrows.
might be
Oh,
outside.
look
You never know. They might be
getting everything
outside.
together.
You didn't see him
Go-
penciling his eyebrows.
Yeah,
on
he fix
something.
Go to dinner. You go to dinner whenever you courting.
Yeah.
Sister, you go in there and yes, I'll just have a salad
Yeah.
and yes,
Now you won't have
just
the
water,
menu.
water with some lemons.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And you eat 2 bites and
Yeah.
half a cucumber. Ooh, I'm so full. But after y'all get married, yeah, let me have a pina colada.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I want some breadsticks.
Half the menu.
Some wings.
Yeah,
Wings.
then you over there. Are you gonna eat that? And we lose.
Yes,
Oh man.
The man was patient, kind, respectful, opening doors. Now you get married, you don't do nothing. So you got to keep the same system that you employed to get her.
Yeah.
If you want to keep her.
Absolutely.
In fact, if you love her more now, after being with her a little while, you should be even doing better at loving her now than what you did whenever you won her over. Same for the woman to the man.
Absolutely.
So I would hope that would be some, a good system that you would employ.
Absolutely. That's one thing I want to touch on, and then we'll try and close out. When people are together, and I noticed this to me, this is one of the number one enders of divorces is people outgrowing each other. You know, and this speaks on what you were just saying, which is to keep up that, keep it up. And me, I'm a strong believer in is if I'm with someone, specifically my fiance, I'm with her, my credit was getting better and is good. I wanted hers to be that way too. It took me a little while to convince her that it is good to do that, but now we flying high. I'm just a strong believer that you can't leave your mate behind. Some way, somehow, you have to show them and help them understand, because you were the guy, when you first got with him, he was a dealer, he had the money, had the cars, had the phone, everything. You get with him, you in school, educated, y'all get together, get married, the drug game then went away. He ain't learned how to pay bills, ain't learned how to do nothing.
Yeah.
He's still that guy that you met a long time ago, and you going in corporate America, growing and growing and growing, and all of a sudden y'all don't see eye to eye no more.
Yeah.
Can you speak on that?
Well, marriage is a team.
Yes.
It's a team. So whenever you're on a team, to grow together, you have to figure out a way to do it organically. And when you are growing organically, it's constant and consistent slow growth toward an objective. It's not fast.
Right.
So one of the things that you see when we talked about that Ephesians 5:33, man, love your wife as you love yourself, and wife, respect your husband. See, there's what that tells us is not just language, but the tone by which we have to function. How do you inspire each other without criticizing, nagging, or complaining to be able to produce the growth? How do you influence one another? So you have to find a way to do it. The beauty of a woman is that the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, he said it's the nature of the woman to equal herself up to her man. That's her nature. Yeah. So the worst thing that a man can do is be growing and then telling you, come on, what are you doing? Come on, you down there still trying to be the same old soul. No, if it's her nature to equal herself up to the man, don't spend time with explanation. Right. Just invest in your example.
Absolutely.
And you keep growing. Technically, if you're going to be the leader of the home, how can you be above people and you're not above people?
Right.
How can you be in front of if you're not in front of?
Right.
So you never should be looking for somebody to be just as you are. You should be always trying to grow so that you can justify your position as the head of your household. So it's about setting an example, not offering an explanation. And the nature of the female is to equal herself up to a man. Now what happens, of course, in this world, there's a verse in the Quran that says, and the male was created a degree above the female. Now you go and you take, the minister did this the other day. He said, you take a protractor and show me what a degree looks like out of 360 degrees. You can't even find it. So, but 1 degree ain't nothing. But the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, while man was created a degree above the female, right now black women are 7 degrees above black men. So the equal self up or the growing together is generally men got to catch up. And it's something we talked about in Before You Say I Do. This, I'm going to make this
sure.
Women are better at relationships than men.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
The nature of the female is patient, compassionate, merciful, forgiving, and long suffering. Those are the key ingredients you need to build a relationship. The man don't have those qualities by nature. Generally, he has to cultivate and develop them.
Absolutely.
On the other side too, women have been practicing relationships longer than men.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That is true.
From birth.
They had dolls.
Dolls, yeah.
Yep.
changing diapers.
Yep.
Tea parties. Playing house.
Then building relationships.
So what have little boys been doing though?
Playing video games.
And breaking stuff.
Yeah.
That's what we took pride in. Busting windows. Breaking this.
Yes, sir.
Playing games. So because a girl has been practicing being a wife and a mother.
Yep.
Ever since she was 1. And all the life of the male, all we've been doing is playing and breaking stuff. What do we do when we get in a relationship?
Same thing.
Yep.
Play.
Even culturally.
And break stuff.
Culturally, the growing up in a household with a woman or a man, you're told to be tough. Right. You know, you don't cry. You get up. You all right.
Emotion. Yeah.
And then, for women, they've been held and get hugs and let me hold your hand, let me walk you here, do that. So
and you need both. You need both of them. And the man is supposed to have a certain amount of strength, because that degree could just be physical strength.
Yeah. Sure.
It don't mean mental. It don't mean spiritual. It don't mean psychological. It just mean physical strength that makes you a degree above the female. So you have a responsibility.
Sure.
And that does demand of you to operate with a certain amount of strength in the world if you're going to be successful. But my point is that as a general rule, women are more patient with us growing versus us being patient with a woman growing because of the way that things have been. I would close on this note.
Okay.
The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said this. He said, "You did not marry the man of your dreams. The man of your dreams is inside the man you married.
Wow.
Get to mining him out.
Oh.
You did not marry the woman of your dreams. The woman of your dreams is inside the woman that you married. Get to mining her out." Now, when you go into mining, you got to be willing to get dirty.
Yes, sir.
You got to dig. You got to be patient. It takes a long time because you got to find where the valuables are.
Absolutely.
Number one thing a miner must have, though, is they must have a helmet with a light on it.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
See
So
through the darkness.
what do you need to mine that dream woman out of the woman you're with? What do you need to mine? You need to have knowledge and wisdom inside your own head. And I think that if we spent more time on self-improvement and being what we wanted to see, and less time on trying to get somebody else to be what we think they should be,
yes,
then we'd find that relationships would move a lot smoother and a lot easier. And we wouldn't have to complain, nag, criticize. We just could be what we are, and we would be in a friendship, on teams with one another, and we would inspire each other by our example. Next thing you know, we would grow together.
Man.
Powerful, man.
There's going to be a lot of recorrecting in relationships tonight.
Right.
Praise be to God.
Boys going to be rewinding like, yeah, let me go back to this part, right? You hear this?
Yeah.
Respect me.
Oh, Lord. Brother Nuri said, respect me. Did you hear him?
And she'll say, well, hold on, let me go back to 22 minutes and 36 seconds.
But now let me say this too. Think about this.
Yes, sir.
There's been relationships where a woman respected a man that did not show her love. And over time, he began to love her like she wanted to be loved. And there's been times when a woman didn't respect a man, but he loved her. Even when she didn't respect him, and she ended up showing respect to him.
Oh, okay.
Point is don't you wait to follow this gender-specific command from the Lord of the worlds and say, you know what? When you start showing me love, I'll start showing you respect.
Right.
And I tell you what, when you start showing me respect, I'm going to start showing you love. If two people is waiting on the other party to do their part, ain't nothing ever going to get done.
Yes.
Move that pride out the way.
No, move. And since, I'll say this, since men are the ones that get on one knee, since men are the ones that propose, since men are supposed to go to the Father, since whenever a wedding takes place, men are already standing down there waiting for their bride to come. You already there. The lesson is that men should be the first to give. So when it come time to say, I'm going to give love and she going to give respect, don't wait for her to give respect. You start giving love now. You the man.
Yes.
And if you got a man that has not started showing you love, don't worry about it. Show him the respect and watch the love come. It works on both sides of the equation.
There it is.
Mm-hmm.
Powerful.
Minister Nuri Muhammad, y'all.
Yes, sir.
Come on with.
Thank y'all so much for having me, and can't wait to do it again.
Oh, yeah,
Yes, sir.
absolutely,
Yes,
man.
sir.
It's always a pleasure to have you on.
Absolutely,
You
man.
know?
Yeah. Absolutely, man. We appreciate you for coming.
Yes, we had so many. Well, thank you first of all, Brother Nuri, for coming on and just adding it to the book. You know, this is just another show to add to that spiritual book. You know, to read and to dissect. And we just had so many viewers and listeners, and some people had asked, is one person actually asked, is this recorded on a CD? So I just wanted to let that viewer know, and all the other viewers watching, that it's recorded, so you can always go back. And also you can even do one better by going, now it's probably buried in the comments now, but I put the website twice. It's NuriMuhammad.com. So Nuri Muhammad.com. And the books are Before You Say I Do and After You Say I Do.
That's right.
So get your arsenal for before and after. And after you say after, if you need to go back to the before, go back to the before.
And I would recommend that. I just met a couple a few days ago that were getting ready to, in 4 months, celebrate their 50th wedding anniversary.
Wow.
They were buying After You Say I Do, and they were telling me how much they got out of Before You Say I Do.
Wow.
And they said there were aspects of their relationship that they wished that they would have done a long time ago.
Wow.
But they were both there, and they would say, I'm excited because we started doing those things and we made our relationship better.
Nice.
So I would hope that, you would get Before You Say I Do.
Absolutely.
And After You Say I Do. And I have a third book on there, Let This Mind Be in You.
Yes.
And a host of other lectures and whatnot that hopefully you'll get to help to increase your knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. As a man not driveth or weareth, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. And if we could make a new verse to go to it, as a woman thinketh in her heart. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, when you teach a man, you teach an individual. But when you teach a woman, you teach a nation. So if as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. As a woman thinketh in her heart, so thinketh the whole nation. So I would hope that sisters and brothers would get these books, some other messages. Of course, if you like anything that I had to say, you would love what my teacher has to say, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Plug in.
Yes.
And check us out. It's an honor to be here on the Gray Area
It's an honor to have you.
Show. Thank y'all so much.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
All right, Pat.
What?
It's your turn.
Man, I don't even remember what to say. You touch on so many things like you always do, and I just sit over here and just try to absorb as much as I can and apply it to, my life, man. Thank you, man, for coming.
Thank you, Pat, for having me. So and to my fiance, love you so much. And we're going to make it right this year. I'm going to watch this over and over and over and over and over and just learn and apply it. To what we're, to what we have and where we are trying to go. If that makes sense. So, and to all the viewers, we appreciate y'all, man, for tuning in. Hopefully, what the brother said will touch so many lives.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you, man, for coming, and I cannot wait to do this again.
Oh, me too. I'm excited.
Absolutely. I second what Pat said. Now I got to top what you said to my girl. You know what I'm saying? You always got to do something.
Love, that's love.
I
like
can't even
it.
find words, man. I'm just like, man.
That make me want to.
Tell Brother Nuri how you got engaged, since you got to do it big and top everybody.
Well,
how'd you get engaged, right?
Hold on for a second. Did y'all hear like the atone chant? Oh, well, wow.
Well,
He brought it back to the R&B record.
Yeah.
Ray used to sing. He used to do R&B.
R&B.
A little bit.
His stage name was Rayon.
Was it really?
Yeah, it was Rayon.
Wow.
Don't let him fool you. goodness. Anyways, it was a nice proposal. We went to the Pacer game and had her name roll across the banner.
Oh man.
I had to point. She mouthful of food. I had to point up there. She was just totally thrown off and but happy at the same time. And it was a good time, man. I was nervous the whole time because I was like, man, what if it comes but she don't see it? You know, all the things that you think about doing wrong. You know, but it went well, and you know, I can't wait. So. Yeah.
Beautiful. I can't wait to hopefully I get to come and be there.
Yes.
You know I'm gonna send you an invite.
Witness.
I'll send you an
part of the
invite.
witness.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
July 28th. I
sir.
will definitely let you know.
Yes, sir.
Why you gotta throw your date out there?
I better throw yours out there.
To my date.
Hey, listen, yours
Yours
is
is first,
before
right?
mine.
Mine's
Yeah.
June 23rd. So you come to mine first, and then we'll think about going to Paris. Nah, but thank you for coming, man. It's always a pleasure to have you here. Always excited when we get to lock you in and get you here and have these conversations. Such a learning experience for us at the Gray Area and our viewers. So thank you for coming.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks to the viewers for always tuning in. And supporting us, man. We can't say thank you enough. I mean, we're just some humble people that decided to try to do a good thing by getting the word out there about so many great things that could help our community. And we've had overwhelming support. Absolutely. And we thank everybody for that. You. So we will see you guys next week. Next week, right?
Yes,
y'all be
next
trying
week.
to play me.
Because he almost tried to have your show next week, Brother Nuri. You telling the viewers.
Yeah.
Next week.
Next week, we got something special for y'all. I'm like, no, Ray, Thursday, man.
See how they gonna play me. It's all right. But we will see y'all next week. Tune in next time to the Gray Area. Don't forget to visit the website www.thegrayareamedialive.com and make sure you get Brother Nuri's book. Come on now, the man dropped so many jewels tonight. Yes. I mean, but it just ain't enough. You have to read the book before and after. You know,
say I do.
You say I do.
Do you have more copies with you now?
I'm hoping we was trying to get them brought up here. I had them and you know what happened was we just got off the road, so I ended up having them in my bag, and I was bringing them, and then I got on the way, and we was trying to get somebody to go get them and bring some up here.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
But if not, come to see us at the cafe.
Yes, sir.
At Eat to Live Cafe, right at 2248 East 38th Street. We got them in there.
There you go.
Yes,
there you go.
Yes, sir.
But I'll get you alls.
Yes,
tomorrow.
yes, we gonna get some books, y'all.
Yes, sir.
And don't be trying to borrow mine, because I'm not giving it up.
Right.
All right, we'll see y'all next week. Peace.
That's powerful, man.
Oh, man. Thank y'all so much.
I couldn't find words. I mean, I'm over here like just soaking all that in.
So y'all think it?
Yeah, I'm saying like, wow,
good?
man.
Think it went good?
Oh yeah,
absolutely,
man.
Absolutely.
I mean, dude, we had.
Oh my goodness.
Anytime you come here, man, I
could not find
the world
words.
is watching.
Like,
man,
very impactful, man.
And I always look to see the names. I know I'm gonna see Muhammad's, and when I see some Browns and Thomases, and I'm like, okay, good.
Oh yeah, that was wonderful, man.
Yes.
Go ahead and close this.
That's powerful.
So you just got off the road. I didn't know that.
Wow. Yeah, we did.
Well, we thank you for making it out. Like, I'm gonna